This is I-95, which is the crew highway in the bowels of the ship. We've now gone downstairs, and this is where all the crew works and makes their way from one end of the ship to the other. As you can see, it's quite a busy highway. Yeah, sorry.
Welcome to the waste handling facility, or as Peter said, most important room. Under World Cookies program, under the smart technology, we are moving towards a program that is 100% repurposing all of our waste. What that means is very simple. Things that can be directly recycled are directly recycled.
Here?
Glass. No.
Oh.
Processed here, not actually recycled. So glass, metals, things like that. Bottles go in there. They're then put into this glass crushing machine. Comes out. This is what it looks like when it comes out. The reason we do this is for volume reduction. On average, in a 7-day voyage, the ship will fill out 8 to 9 of these bags. These bags full, which are directly behind you, weigh about 1 ton. So on average, you're about 8 to 9 tons of glass being recycled on a 7-day voyage. Simple car, right? You have a V6 or V4, has 4 pistons or 6 pistons. This is the head of 1 piston on 1 engine.
Of one of your engines?
1 piston on 1 engine.
Wow.
There's 16 of these on the engine, on 1 engine.
So again, this ship is one of the first ships, cruise ships certainly, that's been delivered with these exhaust gas cleaning systems. Okay? So again, a bit of a novelty. We have advanced wastewater purification. Now, cruise ships have had advanced wastewater purification for a number of years. This ship is no different. What that means is we take all the water. So you take a shower, you wash your hands, and we treat it to a standard that's better than most municipal land-based facilities are. And in addition, lately, the last few years, there have been some legislation that's come out that requires lower discharge levels of nutrients. So nitrogen and phosphorus, which is typically related to agriculture or things like that. So now this ship was designed and it has a system installed that, in addition to the primary water treatment, allows us to reduce the nutrients. So again, the phosphorus and the nitrogen from our wastewater. And that's really driven by some regulation that's come about in the Baltic. Right now, the best estimates from all of our trials and the kind of the calculations that have been done is the ship would be about 20% more efficient per person per day than a ship that was delivered 5 years ago. So on a per person per day, we're looking at being better than the Oasis. So there's this constant work to make the ships more and more efficient.
Have you done anything specifically in terms of the engines, the actual propulsion engines?
Yeah, these engines actually were delivered by a company called Varsala.
Are those the engines up on the...
Yeah.
Which one? The
engines are the...
So this is control room for all the engines?
Yeah, this is the engine control room, and all of the technical aspects are controlled from right here. Again, here's a picture of one of the engines that's having some maintenance done on it. Here's one that's basically all.
How many do you have in total?
There are 4 engines.
Right.
There are 2 12-cylinder and 2 16-cylinder, and that's important because we want to make sure that we have the right size engine running, because we can't have an engine that's too small to provide the power we need, and if we have an engine that's too big, it's not as efficient. So we have 2 different sizes, and they're put on and taken offline depending on what kind of power needs we have at that moment. Right?
So right now we're cruising at 11 knots. What would we have? What would you be using for
power?
Yeah.
Right now we are consuming 3 megawatt, about 6 megawatts for propulsion.
Right.
And the total output right now is 7.5, 6, 13.5. So 6 for propulsion and about 7.5 for the hotel. Hotel meaning everything else besides propulsion. Lights, air conditioning, galleys, laundry, entertainment, you name it.
Will you have an engine running specifically for that? Or for the
No, these 2 generators, the power from those generators, see that blue, that bar right there? That's called a bus bar. And all the power from the generators go onto that bus bar, and depending on what's required, there will be a consumer that will draw power off that bus bar. Okay? So the same power, that's the same generator producing electrons for propelling this ship, are also lighting these lights or driving these computer monitors. Or when you go back to your stateroom, driving your TV or your blow dryer. Okay, same thing. Kind of the coolest thing I would say on energy efficiency is the air lubrication system that we installed. That's literally, we're blowing small bubbles under the very front of the ship, and as the ship is going through the water, the bubbles break up the friction on the bottom of the ship, reducing that friction and improving our fuel efficiency from the propulsion side. 60% of all the power that's coming out of those generators on average will go to propulsion.
And what the cruise ships have that bubble system?
There have been a couple others that did trials. I don't know where they're at with their system. We did a partial test on the reflection, the celebrity reflection, and it netted about somewhere between 1% and 3% efficiency with a partial. So we're hopeful that with a full ship we'll get even better.
Is there a name for the technology?
Air lubrication system.
Just air lubrication system.
Air lubrication.
Okay, cool. Any other things you're doing to reduce consumption fuel?
Well, for instance, this ship has that, but I guess one kind of a bit of an anecdote is that on the Oasis of the Sea, Oasis 3, so it's being built right now in France, STX France. It will be 21.5% more efficient than the Allure that just came out, 3-4 years ago. But that's because of 250 individual initiatives. So there's very few silver bullets, so to speak. It's a lot of hard work, initiatives. This ship has no incandescent light bulbs on it. And that means that we have lower power consumption for the lighting itself, but also when you got to air condition the ship, you're not sitting here taking a bunch of air conditioning power needed to just get rid of the heat that comes from lights. If you touch an incandescent bulb or a halogen bulb, it'll burn you. But these are actually quite cool. I hold my hand right here in front of this fluorescent, and the LEDs are even better, right? So a lot of work goes into energy efficiency.
This is a view of the Grand Loft Suite, which is one of the super suites you get on this ship. So the Loft Suite will cost you a grand total of £3,690 for 8 days in the Bahamas per person. So if you've got 2 of you in here, you're going to pay double that, aren't you, and etc. But it seems fairly reasonable, doesn't it, for a beautiful outlook like this? Look at this balcony. You've got a view of the ocean out the back, and this balcony. I'll go up there and have a look round. As you can see, it's luxurious. It's actually a little apartment, isn't it? It's, in here, an own separate loo, and a little bathroom and shower. So quite modest, but I suppose that's all you need, really. Another balcony over the back there, and then there's another balcony out here. God, you got a lot of sea view all over. You're not going to be short of views, are you, on the Loft Suite for your £4,000 a week? And here's the bedroom balcony with a drop-down TV, no less. Here you go. Just imagine waking up to that in the morning from your bed. Pretty slick, eh? Photos are obviously a very, very big part of the cruise experience. Because if you look at this is a whole area dedicated. Each of these is a photo kiosk dedicated to nothing except getting hold of your photographs and selecting the photographs from your activities and all this kind of stuff. Look at it, rack upon rack of kiosks with various screens on it. You can imagine this, can't you, in a hot summer in the Bahamas with all the folks crowding around to get their photos done. That's how you do a photo kiosk, mate. No Mickey Mouse stuff. And so these are the drop-down doors that, in the event of an emergency, will see you, trap you in one part or the other. If I get trapped, I'd like to be trapped in the place with the best food, probably, and with Alex here. and with the best. Oh, let me see. Somebody would like to be tracked by the Michael's Genuine Pub. Absolutely. Well, it's nice to know they're thinking about us, though, isn't it?
As long as you save my Michael Kors handbag that he's about to buy.
Oh!
First thing I'm going to do is just explain that 270. Hello, everybody from the media. I'm Nick. I'm the Vice President of Entertainment and the mad professor behind some of the ideas that we're going to talk about. The first thing about this room is it's supposed to be a transformative space, and I'm going to prove that now because I see a lot of people squinting because the sun is shining into their eyeballs. So we actually have an elaborate system of shades which we're now going to lower. Some of them are a bit sticky still, but we're working those things through. There's a couple not coming down there. Oh, there they come. So this, of course, apart from allowing your eyeballs to recover, is also a way of us converting the environment during the day into a space that we can use video. We can even do the show last night. Anyone see Star Water last night? Do it by noise, it'll be more fun. By noise, anyone see Star Water last night? That's a cool show. As I explained, we're still working on it. We're still adding content. So if you come tonight, you'll see a little bit more. But the whole idea of that show is to really do something the likes of which that has not been seen in the cruise industry. But honestly, beyond that, as a resident of Las Vegas for the last decade, we're trying to put together some entertainment that will even give that fabulous city a run for its money. So the screens are coming in. So that's a lot of technology just there. They're all computerized and they're sort of listening to each other, and if one of them starts to get hung up, it stops for a second, then lets itself calm down, then carries on coming down. So that's the first set of blinds. That's sort of reducing the light, and then we'll put another layer over that, and that's the projection surface, and we will use that in a few minutes' time. Just the animators that have been working with the computers, there's about 110 of them, because this is such a huge screen. We have to divide animators up into teams, and they work on their little section of the screen, and then a computer blends it all together. So just animators, 110. There's probably 1,000 people involved in what we're doing here. We're going to talk about things. I'm going to sit here, but we're going to also have some fun with the toys. So, Jack, are you up there? It's a two-way conversation. Jack?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Elevate. What are we calling it? A cake lift? What's it called? Yeah. Cake lift. Okay. Elevate the cake lift.
You're elevating.
Yeah.
You're going to have to start getting into this, otherwise it's going to be a painful hour. Okay. Jack, rotate the turntable.
And rotating.
Keep the applause going, it's a slow rotation. There's Jack playing with us, keep going. So there it is, so there's a nice little, so there's all sorts of equipment in here. You've seen the 3-actor lifts, and it's all meant to be, are we almost there? Yep. It's all meant to allow us to bring artists into the space in an unexpected way. We've also got these 2 huge lifts here, which by day are part of the furniture, part of the lounge room, the living room of the ship vibe. But they're very, very powerful lifts. We can lift pianos, we can lift the entire cast. I think we can put all 16 on one lift and bring them into the space. Jack, can we lower that one over there and just get rid of that furniture for a second? There it is. So there's a lift there. I didn't expect applause for that one. Okay, and then this one here, we'll lower that one. Thank you. Work with us. Okay, so there it is. So, and those are vertical entrances, and we can bring in flying entertainers and acrobats and all sorts of things. We can have people sing from up there.
What we do is we create these things called inverse kinematic skeletons, which is what your body is. When you pull your arm, your body pulls with it. You don't move like hinges like this, you know, like shake someone's hand like this. So when you see robots typically in a factory, they're going take an engine apart. So what we wanted to do is have them understand the language of animation, which is fluidity and time and to music. So that's what our software does. So what we do is we use standard computer animation technology that's been around 10, 20 years, and we've figured out a way to teach the robots, much like everything has to be taught to robots in our lifetime, teach them as animators how to move and how to perform with people. So if you come and see the show, you'll see that. But these are the same robots you see in factories, and in factories they'll have hundreds of robots lined up, and there has to be, the precision has to be zero precision, which means exact. They can't make a Porsche and say, close enough, right, next, close enough. It has to be exact. So I was fascinated with the exactness of the robot and the fact that once it's programmed, it will literally go for 30 years. And the only thing that really shifts is how they're mounted. The concrete will slightly shift.
I think what we'll do is we'll show you a few robotic moves first, and then we'll put a bit of content on them that was created by Moment Factory. So, Jack, if you can hear me, let's start by lowering the gantry down and getting it into its home position. That's the nested position, which is kind of keeping them out of the way. Richard Fain, our chairman, wanted this to be the living room of the ship with beautiful ocean views, so everything has to be retractable, and that's the home position.
That is the home position. That would be the average of every single motion that a robot can make is called home. And they have, if you look at it, there's 6, like your arm, there's 6 axes. And they're built to be like a human arm. So we have 6 robots, each with 6 axes, almost like each hinge.
Here's one, there it is, so that's a robot moving, but instead of going in a straight line, it's using all sorts of lovely...
These are the same screens you see in pro sports arenas and stadiums around the world. It's LED technology, it's 4mm. These are the best available on the planet today, these particular screens.
Okay, so that's a nice shape. I think we're calling that, what are we calling it? Radioactive? Okay, well, it's still tracking in.
Yeah, the idea here was to play with perception. So to confuse perception between the actual physical movement of the robot and the screen and digital perception of movement in a 3D kind of world. So I guess you guys are going to see what it looks like, but it's quite a complex process to actually understand how these robots can work and how they move and what we can do in content. So we're going to look at this.
Here we go. Abstract perspective.
Robots are engaged.
What do you think? Isn't that cool? That's what you get when you get two geniuses in the same room and try to join the dots between them. You come up with something like that. So that's really what this room is about. It's about coming up with something that really is. Do you want to elevate the cake again if you can, Jack? We really had to start from scratch on everything with this, and it was an interesting 14 months because by the time we decided what we were going to do, we were running out of time. So it's been against the clock. Okay, let me tell you now about the Vistarama, which is another amazing piece of technology. As we spoke, this is a very, very, very special screen. It's hard to have a screen with that resolution without a big projector out there, like at your local cinema. So there isn't a big projector out there that would give you a very low level of intensity. There are actually 18 projectors up there, and I'm going to actually show you a module that we created for this event. In fact, I asked Moment Factory to put together, I kind of gave them an idea of how I wanted to spell it out, because it's reflecting the process. But it literally was delivered to the ship by last night. It took hours to load to. So this is the first time we're going to show you a piece of digital content that no one's seen, including the people that made it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that's the red curtain. So maybe kill the house lights now, Jack, and maybe a little bit less light on us, because I want to get as much intensity as I can. That's the red curtain. In traditional theatre, the more complicated you can make the front of house curtain, the Austrian, the more you are showing off your theatre, especially in times of royalty and the way when royal family would visit the theatres, the more complex you can make that curtain was almost a sign of respect. So we decided, using all this technology, to come up with the most impossibly complicated unveiling of a curtain ever. So let's do that now. You want to open that up, Jack?
Okay, our beautiful curtain is opening. Sorry to interrupt.
So basically we take a look at how curtains are made, what they look like, get inspiration on aesthetics and designs and history of curtains and stuff like that. And then we basically start animating in 3D. So there must have been 3-4 people working on this for maybe a month or so. Because of the size of the screen and because of the resolution of the screen, it's quite complex and heavy. As we were saying earlier, there's a lot of pixels on here, and it requires real custom animation and a lot of details in understanding the lights and the 3D content. And all.
You know, a high definition television is 1080, so it's more or less 1K. That would be 1K, 1000 pixels. The big talk of the town at the various technical shows in Vegas. What's the big one every year? CES? What's it? Yeah, no, the big technical conference at CES. Everyone was talking about 4K, that's the big deal. I think IMAX is 7 and this is 12, so it's 12,000 pixels across the top. Let me show you how we did it, and again, we've never seen this module, so I'm going to narrate it as we go. There were a number of phases. To get a screen like that without a projector out front, so where are the projectors? They're up there somewhere. We had to use 18 projectors. To be able to get around the architecture and to be able to have the right angle, we needed 18 projectors to create one image, and I'll show you where the 18 projectors shine because we've got a little piece to show you. So can you play the first part, please, Jack? Well, that's fabulous. So there it is. Oh, it's already like, okay. So that's basically where they are. There are 18 projectors. So I think 4K would be 4 of them. Okay, so that's where you get the 12K across. So obviously, if you've got 18 projectors, you need to make it feel like it's only one projector with one surface. So we have to line them up, and I think we're partly lined up. Can we line up the rest? Okay, so there it is. We've got them all lined up now, mostly. There's number 18 looks a bit wonky. But one of the things we had to do was create a test card, because that's how you start. The first thing you do before you can start creating content on a new screen is you've got to create a test card so that you can calibrate everything. So there it is in black and white. Then of course, Moment Factory told me very proudly one day that they don't work in black and white, they work in color. So we had to come up with a color test card. This is the biggest, so roll that one please, Jack. This is the biggest test card, biggest color. Okay, so we've got some colour in there. Is there more colour to add? We'll give it a try. Can you press the next one? Keep rolling. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now we're working with something. So now, in come the boffins, and they can start working with this. And of course, also, we don't work only in colour and with contrast, we also work in 3 dimensions. So keep rolling, please, Jack. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, there is a 3-dimensional test card with all the colours and all the contrast, and of course motion as well. So keep rolling it, please, Jack, all the way through to the end. Okay, kill it, thanks. So, that's almost there. I mean, you know, and this is a cute one. We've got lots of different Vistaramas that we'll be showing our guests. One very interesting one, for example, is this is the living room of the ship. I would think this is going to be a great place to come for a martini before dinner. So with that idea in mind, you can imagine a couple over there at the bar having a lovely martini with the Caribbean Sea or the Atlantic Ocean floating outside the window with the horizon in its normal position. What we're going to do to that couple once in a while is when they come in for their martini, they will still see the horizon. It will still feel like the right space for a martini, but instead of seeing the ocean, it'll be the clouds. And we will have transported this room into the entertainment center of a 1920s airship, which was going to be, if it hadn't been for the Hindenburg, it would have been a 5-star way to cross the Atlantic. So we thought, why not play with that? So we've got this incredible scene of clouds, and you basically can still enjoy your martini, you still enjoy the room as a living room, but a slightly different view out the window. Okay, this one we're going to show you is called Ocean Symphony. It just shows you the definition and the fun and the colour, and it's just nice. It's about 3 minutes long. Roll it, Jack. Ocean Symphony. He's just pressing random buttons now, isn't he, Jack? Okay, there it is. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, all this content is custom created, every pixel. There's going to be maintenance for sure on other things, but anything else? Right, oh yeah, can't really see much, so we've got a microphone down here, right there, thanks.
Yeah, can I ask just each of the three creative people, was there anything in your each perspectives that during the process you really would have liked to have done, but you weren't able to do either because of cost or technology or something that you really would like to do in a Royal Caribbean ship, maybe in 2 or 3 years' time or whatever?
More time.
More time.
More robots.
Yeah, you see, now Andy wants to replace all the dancers just with robots, so he just wants nothing but robots. But yeah, more time, you know, a TARDIS would have been great to get in and go back in time and have a bit more time to do all this, because as I think the thing that I've said a few times, while we were developing all this content and all the shows, we were also discovering how to do it. So there's a lot of lessons learned. The great thing is all the same partners are going to be working with us on Anthem. So, you know, that's great. Lessons learned. We've written the book now. The only book on the planet about this is ours. And so we're going to carry on creating content with the same team and carry on having fun.
Yeah, I think time is always something like, for example, right now, what we just saw, we haven't seen before, because everything is kind of like in construction as we're creating the content. Technology is technology, it takes time to kind of set up, there's always surprises until everything is fine-tuned. So we're actually fine-tuning this, you know, in the next few weeks. So things are not going to be perfect and things are going to move around. We always would like more time in all of our projects, more budget, more toys, more, you know, more of everything.
So as you can see from where our chairman is now investing money, it's all, entertainment's going to be a big push. I hope you're watching these wonderful visuals out the window, so you can imagine, true to what we said, it still feels like 270, it still feels like a great place to go for a drink before dinner. But having spent a few days looking at the Atlantic Ocean, we thought it would be fun to be about 20,000 feet higher and just watching things float past the window. So that's a really cool, quirky.
On a mad careering. Oh, sorry. It's fine. You need to tip the boat out.
Pull it. Have you been in the hot tub?
No.
Thank you.
You always get some
That's as good as we're going to get. I didn't think of it.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. I think somebody turned the light off and I can see them. Just as we're down at the bottom.
From
What a shame.
270. It's actually pretty amazing.
They can see
It's
there.
like it turns into
How are you?
How you doing?
And we're down. Now is the time, the only time that matters. The past is gone, the future is just an idea in your mind. So let go of worries, breathe, trust the universe, and enjoy the life that is happening right here, right now. Well, as we come to the end of our little trip on this quite strange and remarkable ship, I have to say, home sweet home, and that's where we'll be heading tomorrow. It's been great. I've enjoyed it. Lots of fun, lots of interesting things to do, and of course a ship which is no doubt going to make a lot of people very happy and probably other people very rich. The Quantum of the Seas, the smartest ship in the world. Okay, there was a little bit of a conference going on the dock, and we stopped for a bit, and now it looks like we've started up again very slowly. Very stop-start. It makes parking a jumbo at an airport seem like a Formula One race, this does. To be expected, of course. There's two of the little buoys, or what they are, sort of the car tyre buoys, sort of tangled up there. I suppose they'll sort themselves out. Pulling out again, pushing out again. Some sort of commotion going on the right. Looks like we've had to have another go at it because we got very close and we pulled out again. Imperceptibly slowly, inch by inch, literally. Still moving slightly. Let's look at the it's good, yeah. So there you go. That's how you park 168,000 tonnes at 6 o'clock in the morning. So this is the queue to get off the boat. Already at 6. It's a bit of a bigger queue than a jumbo.
Great time.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, sorry. So it's one off the boat. Alright, cheers. Bye bye. One to the seas.